We're officially past the halfway point of the 2025 NFL season, and the NFC playoff picture is starting to take shape. But it's messier than a snow globe that just got shaken up. We've got teams at the top fighting for position, squads on the bubble desperately trying to stay alive, and some franchises that are already planning their off-season vacations. Today, we're breaking down the 7 NFC wildcard contenders still in the hunt, ranking them from long shots to lock-ins. We'll dive into what's working, what's not, and which teams actually have a realistic shot at January football. Let's get into it. Before we rank the wildcard contenders, let's set the stage. The NFC has 4 division leaders right now. The Eagles sitting pretty at 8-2 in the East, the Rams also at 8-2 leading the West, the Bears at 7-3 on top of the North, and the Bucs at 6-4 controlling the South. But here's where it gets interesting. The NFC North is absolutely stacked. The top 3 teams are separated by just half a game. The Bears, Packers, and Lions are all legitimate playoff teams, which means at least 1 or 2 of them will be fighting for a wild card spot. Out west, you've got the Rams and Seahawks both playing elite football, so another wild card candidate is coming from that division too. 7 teams make the playoffs in each conference, with 3 wild card spots up for grabs. The competition is fierce, and every game from here on out is critical. Now, we won't waste time on teams that are already cooked. The Giants at 2-9, the Saints at 2-8, and several others are done. Let's focus on the 7 teams that still have a pulse. Starting at number 7, we have the Minnesota Vikings at 4-6. Look, this team has talent everywhere. Justin Jefferson is a monster. They've got weapons like Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones. Head coach Kevin O'Connell won Coach of the Year last season, and defensive coordinator Brian Flores consistently gets the most out of his units. But here's the problem. Rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy just isn't ready. He's completing barely over 50% of his passes, has 8 touchdowns against 8 picks, and has thrown at least 1 interception in every single start. That's not going to cut it in this conference. They're projected to finish 6-11. The Vikings season is essentially over. At number 6, the Dallas Cowboys are 4-5-1, and man, they're frustrating to watch. This offense is absolutely electric. Dak Prescott is 5th in passing yards, Javonte Williams is 5th in rushing, and George Pickens is 2nd in receiving yards. They're averaging almost 30 points a game, 2nd in the entire league. They're actually the only team in NFL history to have top 5 players in passing, rushing, and receiving. So what's the issue? The defense is a disaster, giving up over 29 points per game, 2nd worst in the league. The Cowboys are literally the answer to this trivia question. What team averaged the most points per game while having a losing record through 10 games in NFL history? That's how good the offense is and how bad the defense has been. Now, there's a glimmer of hope. They just beat the Raiders 33-16 on Monday Night Football, and the defense actually looked competent for once. The trade deadline pickups of Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson are starting to gel, and some injured defenders are getting healthy. But let's be real, their remaining schedule is brutal. They face the Eagles, Chargers, Lions, and Chiefs, plus some easier matchups. They'd need to go at least 5-2 down the stretch to finish 9-7-1. That's a massive ask with their inconsistency. Projected record, 9-7-1. And that might not even be enough. Coming in at number 5, the Carolina Panthers are 6-5 after Bryce Young threw for a franchise record 448 yards in an overtime win against the Falcons. That sounds great, right? Well, not so fast. Young still ranks bottom 10 among starting quarterbacks in completion percentage, yards per attempt, and passer rating. Rico Dowdle has been fantastic at running back with over 800 yards, but one performance doesn't erase Young's inconsistencies. And get this, Carolina now has the 3rd hardest remaining schedule in the NFL. They have to play both LA teams, the Bucs twice, and the Niners. Unless Young suddenly becomes elite overnight, they're finishing 7-10 and missing the playoffs. At number 4, we have the San Francisco Niners at 6-4. Kyle Shanahan's offense is still humming despite massive injury issues. They're leading the league in passing yards per game, even though George Kittle's missed half the season. Brandon Ayuk is still out from last year's knee injury, and Ricky Pearsall has missed 6 games. Christian McCaffrey is doing his thing, over 600 rushing yards and 600 receiving yards through 10 games. That's historically rare production. And somehow, even with all-pro players like Nick Bosa and Fred Warner out for the season, Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh has this defense playing at a league average level. The Niners' remaining schedule is manageable, with games against the Cardinals, Browns, and Panthers mixed in. They're projected to finish 11-6, and that should be enough to secure a wild card spot. This is a well-coached team that knows how to win, and they're getting it done despite the injury apocalypse. Number 3 is the Detroit Lions at 6-4. Now, they've hit a rough patch lately, losing 3 of their last 5 games, including losses to both Super Bowl participants, the Chiefs and Eagles. That Vikings loss in Week 9 is looking worse and worse, too. The Lions have one of the 10 toughest remaining schedules, with games against the Packers, Rams, and Steelers still on the calendar. The good news? They get the 2-9 Giants this week, which should be a get-right game. Detroit is projected to finish 11-6, which should lock them into a playoff spot, but they need to stop the bleeding soon. At number 2, the Green Bay Packers are 6-3-1, and honestly, they should be even better. This defense is legit, 7th in points allowed at under 20 per game. Micah Parsons has been a game wrecker with 56 quarterback pressures, 2nd most in the league, and 8 sacks. Rashawn Gary is having a career year too. The issue is the offense has been inconsistent despite Jordan Love playing at a top 10 level. Offensive line injuries have hampered Josh Jacobs' efficiency, even though he's got 11 rushing touchdowns, 2nd most in the NFL. They're also being too conservative with play calling, running the ball on 1st and 2nd down almost 50% of the time. If Matt LaFleur opens up the playbook and uses more play action to take advantage of Love's arm and their speedy receivers, this offense could explode. The talent is there. They're projected to finish 12-4-1, and if the offense clicks, they could challenge for the division. And finally, at number 1, we have the Seattle Seahawks at 7-3. They just lost a heartbreaker to the Rams on a missed 61-yard field goal, but don't sleep on this team. They get a rematch with LA in Week 16, and depending on how that goes, they could still win the division. Sam Darnold is leading the NFL with 9.3 yards per attempt and is airing it out downfield like nobody's business. They stumbled against the Rams with 4 interceptions, but they get the 1-9 Titans this week, a perfect bounce-back opportunity. Seattle is projected to finish 13-4, and they're the safest bet among the wildcard contenders right now. So there you have it, your NFC wildcard rankings heading into the stretch run. The Seahawks and Niners look like locks, the Packers and Lions should be fine, and everyone else is fighting for their playoff lives. Who do you think makes it in? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe for more NFL content all season long. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our NFL breakdowns. Thanks for watching.